The operation was not improvised. Ukrainian commanders had spent weeks analyzing Russian movements, assessing supply lines, and identifying vulnerabilities in the armored advance. Satellite imagery, intercepted communications, and drone reconnaissance provided a detailed picture of enemy deployments. Each tank, each support vehicle, and each infantry unit was tracked in real time. The kill zone was selected not just for its terrain, but for the way it channeled Russian forces into a narrow corridor, where their numerical advantage could be neutralized. Ukraine's strategy relied on forcing the adversary into predictable patterns, a classic military tactic updated for modern warfare. The terrain of the kill zone played a critical role. Rolling fields interrupted by patches of forest and strategically placed ravines created natural bottlenecks. These features prevented the Russian columns from dispersing effectively, reducing their ability to maneuver under fire. Ukrainian planners understood that tanks in open terrain are formidable, but when constrained and exposed, they become vulnerable. The combination of natural geography and engineered obstacles transformed the battlefield into a trap designed to exploit overconfidence and poor situational awareness on the part of the invading forces. Ukraine's forces used a combination of conventional and unconventional methods to prepare the zone. Mines were carefully laid along likely avenues of approach, camouflaged so effectively that even experienced tank crews would not notice them until it was too late. Anti-tank guided missiles were positioned along ridges and behind natural cover, ready to engage targets with precision. Artillery units were dispersed to maximize coverage while minimizing exposure to counter-battery fire. The integration of electronic warfare units allowed Ukrainian forces to jam communications and disrupt command structures, further complicating the Russian advance. Every detail had been considered. When the first elements of the Russian armored column entered the kill zone, Ukrainian commanders exercised extreme patience. The operation was not reactive but proactive. They waited for the precise moment when 216 tanks were in position, fully committing to the trap. This was not merely a numerical decision but a tactical one. Ukrainian intelligence had determined that at this level of concentration, the enemy's forces would be unable to adapt quickly, leaving them susceptible to a coordinated multidimensional attack. The timing had to be perfect. A premature strike could allow elements of the Russian force to escape and regroup. As the signal was given, the Ukrainian assault commenced with devastating effectiveness. Precision artillery struck first, targeting command vehicles and key logistical points within the column. Anti-tank teams engaged from concealed positions, using both Soviet-era systems and modern Western-supplied weapons. The initial moments of contact created chaos within the Russian ranks. Tanks immobilized by mines and missile strikes blocked the roads, creating choke points that amplified the effectiveness of follow-up attacks. Communications became fragmented, and units could no longer coordinate effectively. The kill zone had done its job. Simultaneously, drone units provided real-time intelligence and targeting data, guiding artillery strikes and infantry actions. These unmanned systems offered a persistent view of the battlefield, allowing Ukrainian forces to adapt rapidly. Any Russian attempt to maneuver out of the kill zone was met with precise fire from multiple directions. Even armored reinforcements were funneled into traps, where they encountered concentrated defensive fire. The result was a cascading effect of destruction that exemplified the concept of force multiplication. A smaller defending force inflicted disproportionate damage on a much larger opponent. The psychological impact on Russian troops was profound. Soldiers reported confusion, fear, and frustration as they found themselves under constant attack from positions they could not see. Commanders struggled to maintain control, as traditional hierarchical communications were disrupted by electronic warfare and the fog of rapid destruction. The sense of invulnerability that often accompanies armored advances in open terrain was shattered. Ukrainian forces had not only destroyed vehicles but also shattered morale, leaving surviving troops hesitant to continue the advance without substantial support. By the time the operation concluded, Ukrainian forces had neutralized a significant portion of the 216-tank column. The kill zone was littered with destroyed vehicles, remnants of logistical support, and scattered troops attempting to retreat under fire. Casualty assessments indicated that losses were concentrated in units that had pressed the attack too aggressively without proper reconnaissance. The success of the operation was measured not just in material destruction but in the strategic paralysis it inflicted. Russian operational momentum was halted, and subsequent offensives were delayed while command structures regrouped. International observers noted the significance of the operation immediately. Military analysts praised Ukraine's combination of intelligence, terrain exploitation, and precision firepower. The operation demonstrated that numerical superiority does not guarantee success when one side can control the conditions of engagement. It also underscored the increasing importance of integrating traditional military tactics with advanced technology. Ukrainian forces had achieved a level of coordination and strategic foresight that rivaled the best practices of modern militaries around the world. The role of the U.S. Navy in this context is particularly noteworthy. While not directly engaged in the land operation, U.S. naval assets provided critical intelligence support. Satellite data, reconnaissance flights, and information-sharing networks allowed Ukrainian planners to refine their understanding of Russian deployments. The Navy's presence in nearby waters acted as a strategic deterrent, ensuring that Russian forces could not rely on maritime supply lines to reinforce the embattled armored units quickly. This multi-domain cooperation exemplifies the evolving nature of warfare, where land, sea, air, and cyberspace converge in a single operational picture. The success of the kill zone operation also had political ramifications. Ukrainian leadership leveraged the victory to strengthen international support, demonstrating their capability to defend territory effectively against a technologically sophisticated adversary. This operation became a symbol of national resilience and tactical ingenuity. For Russian strategists, it forced a re-evaluation of armored doctrine and the vulnerabilities of concentrated mechanized columns in hostile terrain. The lessons learned would influence future planning on both sides of the conflict, highlighting the enduring importance of strategy over brute force. Following the operation, Ukrainian forces conducted a thorough analysis of what had worked and where improvements could be made. Debriefings examined coordination between artillery, anti-tank teams, drones, and infantry. Logistics and supply chain efficiency were scrutinized, ensuring that success could be replicated in future operations. Training programs incorporated lessons learned, emphasizing patience, timing, and the integration of multiple combat elements. The psychological component was also considered, with commanders emphasizing the importance of morale, leadership, and situational awareness in high-stress engagements. The kill zone operation illustrates a broader shift in modern warfare. The combination of intelligence superiority, technological advantage, and strategic patience enables smaller forces to challenge larger ones effectively. Traditional concepts of armored warfare, reliant on numbers and firepower, are increasingly countered by precision strikes, real-time data, and well-prepared defensive positions. Ukraine's approach in this instance serves as a case study for militaries worldwide, demonstrating that thoughtful preparation and the effective use of available resources can yield disproportionate results. It is also important to recognize the human element in this operation. Soldiers on the ground, commanders making split-second decisions, and analysts interpreting complex data all contributed to the outcome. The interplay between individual initiative and coordinated planning was critical. Without disciplined execution at every level, the operation could have failed, turning a carefully prepared trap into a disaster. The victory is a testament to both professional skill and national resolve, showing how determination and expertise can shape the course of events in a high-stakes environment. In the aftermath, the operational impact was felt across the broader theater of conflict. Russian forces, now wary of similar ambushes, adjusted their tactics, slowing advances and dispersing units to reduce vulnerability. Ukrainian forces capitalized on the momentum, reinforcing defensive lines and launching selective counteroffensives where conditions favored them. The psychological advantage gained from such a decisive operation cannot be overstated. Confidence within Ukrainian ranks surged, while the perception of invincibility among opposing forces diminished, affecting decision-making and operational planning in subsequent engagements. Looking ahead, the principles demonstrated by this operation are likely to influence military doctrine for years to come. The emphasis on intelligence, terrain exploitation, multi-domain integration, and patience over impulsive action offers valuable lessons. Armored columns, once considered unstoppable in certain contexts, must now contend with the reality that disciplined defenders can dictate the terms of engagement. Technology, when combined with human ingenuity, can offset numerical disparities, turning disadvantage into strategic advantage. Ukraine's operation is a vivid illustration of this dynamic in action. Finally, the broader implications of the kill zone operation extend beyond immediate military outcomes. They highlight the importance of preparation, patience, and adaptability in all high-stakes endeavors, whether military or otherwise. By carefully assessing risks, understanding the environment, and timing actions with precision, success becomes achievable even against formidable opposition. This story serves as an enduring example of strategy prevailing over raw power, planning over impulsiveness, and skill over sheer force. In conclusion, the Ukrainian operation against the 216-tank Russian column in the carefully chosen kill zone stands as one of the most remarkable examples of modern military strategy. It combined intelligence, technology, terrain, and human courage to achieve decisive results. The operation disrupted enemy momentum, inflicted substantial losses, and showcased the evolving nature of warfare where precision, patience, and coordination outweigh mere numbers. Ukraine's success is a lesson in the enduring power of strategy, preparation, and execution, offering insights for military planners, analysts, and anyone interested in the dynamics of conflict in the 21st century.